Hello, I am Udita, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Instead of another tips and tricks videos on the differences between load balancing and manifolds, there's dozens and they're all amazing, I want to do something a little bit different. This is the first in a series of videos I have planned to show load balancing each of the parts as I progress through the game. I am currently in phase 2 with enough unlocked to start building permanent factories. I am using the advanced game settings to fly, it's just too hard to give up. And this playthrough is all about building a very efficient world. I have a very simple setup for all the basic items, and the goal is to move all of this into their own factories and send them all to that big box over there, as it will be my storage facility for the playthrough. I want to keep these episodes relatively short to start, as I'm sure they're going to get longer as the factories get more complex. The first factory I'm going to be making will be copper sheets, because this node right here is very close to the new storage facility, and ultimately this is going to be the simplest of all the factories to make, so it seems like a good place to start. So there are a couple blueprints that I'm going to be using, and let me show them off right now. So our first one, floor one, is basically for the miner. So I have the door on the same side as this, so that the door is always facing the same direction as the arrow. I also have a double wall outlet on the back side, which is how I'm going to run to power up the tower. So we have this, which is going to go right on top of this foundation that I have placed. Next step, we're just going to use a 6x6, so we're going to end up extending this one foundation on every side. And this is how we're going to extend the tower up, using 4 of these. And the last couple that we need, I'm going to utilize these to place some walkways around on the outside, and they're basically just half foundations with some railing. I have a 3 and a 4 foundation version to help seal off all the sides. And then the machines. So for this, I'm going to need the 4 smelters, which we have nice and load balanced. So the 120 ore will come in. It'll split off to 60 and 60, 30, 30, 30, 30. And then basically a very kind of mirrored setup with the mergers on the other side to combine it all. And then that is going to all get fed into, I believe, 6 constructors. So we're going to use the 3 constructor blueprint and put 2 of them side by side. So 3 constructors, and then basically we'll just have to add 1 more splitter, so right about here, and that will join the 2 blueprints, and we'll have 6 constructors load balanced, and then do the same thing with the merger. And we already have our power at the right height, and it'll just connect to the ceiling just to make life a little bit easier. None of these have recipes set. I just wanted to keep the blueprints relatively simple, and then I'll just copy and paste it. It'll force me to make sure that the recipes are hopefully correct. So give me a second and I will show you what this tower looks like in just a minute. And this is how the towers are going to roughly look. Obviously each one may vary slightly, especially with the color. I'm going to make the color basically whatever node that it's placed on. So since this is on a copper node, I got this list of different hex codes for colors on Reddit, and this is what listed copper as, I think. Anyways, so just threw those blueprints together. So as you can see, just 4 of those kind of make a floor, and then I just surround it with the outside walkway, and then I just added on some stairs basically, so that I can easily, even though I'm using fly, I would like to not have to use fly. I want the factories to at least make sense. So now that you've seen, this is basically how it looks, and I think I connected the power. Let me show that real quick. So I have that double wall outlet. I just have it come over since this extended, and then I just run it up to each floor, so each floor has a double wall outlet, and we'll hook the machines up to that. So I thought instead of just snapping my fingers and having the machines placed, we could place a few. Sometimes I like to work backwards. So since I want the constructors to face this way, we'll do the constructors first. Okay, so since I've got those ones facing this way, that means the input is on this side. So it'd be nice if my smelters just lined up for that. Perfect. Centered. There we go. And so now this is going to be 120 ingots, so Mark II built. Mark II into there. This one, however, I'm going to want to switch around. So the reason being, I didn't center this. Okay, so that goes there. This one is going to get turned around. And the reason for that is if it was the other way and I placed this here as opposed to there, as you'll see when I go below, that would end up on the outside, which I don't really like. You can get it to work, obviously, but I prefer it to be on the inside here. And we're gonna make sure, switch direction, just place this down here, grab this. I'm not gonna be too particular with how straight it is as much as, well, it's just a little bit crooked, isn't it? All right, normally I'm not gonna fuss with this too much, but I'm gonna nudge it by 1/2 meter. That should be pretty close to straight. Not perfect because the nodes are rarely completely perfectly on the wheel grid, but that gets our 120 copper ore up here, which let's double check. Cool, that's already set correctly, and let's set some recipes. So these all get to be clocked to 100%. Makes life really easy. And then 6 of these all clocked at 100%. Perfect. So now I just need to work out the belt going over there. Hold just a second. Alright, so this 60 copper sheets per minute tower is done. So now we get to turn it on and watch it come to light. So I'm just going to belt it straight across here, bring it up. There's a good chance that with all of the other products being plugged in, this may need to move, but for now, we'll just keep it nice and simple. If the stretch was going to be any longer than this, I'd probably add some support, but I figure about 20 foundations is fine by me. I'm going to try not to add too many supports, but I do want things to not look too ridiculous. But let's see this come to life. There's our first copper sheets. And as you can see, one of the huge benefits to load balancing, even though this is a smaller factory and it wouldn't have taken long if you did a manifold, is within a few minutes you are up to 100% efficiency. So we're going to see a small little gap here, but in no time this is going to be a completely full Mark 1 belt. And there we go. And then I just have it coming along here. It will run. Oh, that's right. I still need to unlock the. Oh no, I do have the smart splitter. I guess I forgot. So this is how they're all going to be set up. So I'm just going to put the overflow on the same side for all of them. Gonna make sure that one is marked. And from there to there to there to there. And then I'm going to have 3 containers basically as a buffer. And yep, we already have those as Mark 3. Perfect. And this is how our storage system is going to go. The goal is to keep filling each of these up with different products and keep showing off different factories all load balanced. The next video will use these nodes right over here. And because I already have the alternate recipe for iron wire, I'm going to be utilizing that to make 60 wire and 60 cable per minute in the same tower. So thanks for watching.